The first day of New Year 2024, we are here in Cairo on a mission to take two dogs from a local foundation for further treatment in Poland. And in the meantime, we are trying to get as much as we can from the local culture, local beliefs and local structure of how Egypt is functioning, how Cairo is functioning, especially with pyramids so close by, and how animals, especially like horses, donkeys or camels, are treated here in Egypt. We found a local man who knows a bit more and can tell us a bit more about all the facts and all the interesting things about animals here in Egypt. So, what's your name, sir?
My name is Khalid.
Khalid?
I'm a local guide here in Egypt. Actually, I spent some time in Europe. I know how pets are spoiled in Europe. But when you come here in a place like Egypt, I will not talk about Middle East, because if you go to Lebanon or in the Gulf area, the people spoil pets there. Maybe because the circumstances are different. People there are more rich or wealthy, so they can take care of some extra pets. About 70% of the population of Egypt middle class, so they are barely take care of themselves. But if we talk about what kind of pet they take care of, mostly that will be cats. About 80% of the cats are home, 20% more or less are homeless, but they still got a good care from the people in the street. Egyptians in general, they like animals. They like to take care of them, especially in this neighborhood here around the pyramid, when the most of the people are surviving from horses and camels. And that you could see when you go to the pyramids area. If you'd like to get like a camel.
Didn't you notice that over the years, sorry to interrupt you, like there's too many tourists, too many horses being used too much by the locals? What is your opinion on?
My opinion about this, I see that the camel or the horse are happy from inside, because they was made for that purpose. Okay, if you go to the Western Desert or in Sinai, there is horses and camel there, and they are doing nothing. And the most of these horses and camels are depressed. They don't move a lot. Here, the horses and camels, this is my opinion. I don't know, maybe it's right or mistake, but I feel they are doing a lot of movement every day. They are having fun with different people. People spoil them. You know, the most of the tourists, they come with like sugar and good stuff to give to feed the horse and the camel after the ride, and they take photos and make films. Some people I face, like if I have a family, 5 members, maybe I got 1 or 2, they say, no, we don't like to ride horse or camel because we care for them. Yeah, I respect that, and the people, they own the horse and the camel, respect that, but you think if you didn't ride the horse or the camel, somebody else will do, because they made for that purpose, okay?
I mean, you mean they are made to go endlessly around pyramids for 8-9 hours a day?
No, they don't like torture them for 8-9 hours.
No, maybe we know that the pyramids, they close at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. But you know, because I know one of this family, they had like 10 or 12 horse and camel. Okay, they like every camel go for a ride. Okay, when they come, they have to take a break. They don't like work around the clock, as you say. Okay.
No, we are just being influenced by the dramatic pictures and videos that we received from one clinic further down south in Giza. And this clinic is facing with critical conditions of horses and donkeys that are coming from around the pyramids after many months or being exploited for all their life for this purpose. not for the purpose of work and purpose of giving pleasure to the rider, but purpose of being used to go endlessly about those pyramids in hot weather conditions, because there are so many tourists that they want this, that it went out. It's going out of control at the moment. The videos we have seen are showing dead corpses of horses being lying here and there in the urbanized areas. That the desert is filled with horse carcasses and camel carcasses that are just being dumped because they just gave away, you know, perhaps many times with the tourist in the back, you know. What do you say to that? I mean,
actually, I'm not professional, and this is not part of my job. Okay.
Yeah.
I just tell you about what I know in general, what I see in the road.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I go to the pyramid, when I see horses and camels, and I see the owner spoil them and bring them food, take care of them, and also what else?
All the little treats and
Yes.
What do you say to that?
Okay, so first of all, you know, this guy's a tour guide. So, of course, he's trying to make it all sound lovely and that the owners love their animals and give them a treat. So, of course, he's not going to say anything bad. And possibly he doesn't know, you know, because he's only bringing tourists on a bus maybe. He doesn't understand anything about horses and camels by the sound of him, and what's he going to say about it, you know? He's not going to tell you anything bad.
Do you know how much is it for the horse ride around the pyramids?
It depends how long. It starts from 500 Egyptian pound, okay, for 15-20 minutes. This is exactly something like 12-13 euro.
Okay. Okay. So let's say $15.
Something like
Okay,
this.
for 1 hour.
Yeah, no, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, around, and there are longer ones as well, yes?
No, the longer ones go up to like $35-40, okay, for like 1.5 hour, okay.
And that's horseback riding.
No, it's not horseback. It's a horse wagon. It's like a royal car.
Okay, the one axle.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and this is divided by the number of people.
It's maximum 2 person.
Maximum 2.
Yeah.
No, we've seen like 4-5 people riding on them.
Really, in this couch?
Yeah, in the city. Yes, we have the videos. So maybe it's basically locals riding like that, or
Yeah,
or
probably.
some tourists with the
probably.
locals.
No, with tourists, because the police
Yeah.
inside forbid something like this to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are rules of.
Yeah, maximum
of
2,
course.
1 or 2.
What do you think about electric buggies? To use them to go around the pyramids. But
The pyramids
I'm
area?
saying the electric cars that would replace the 20-minute ride around the pyramids on horseback or on horseback. Yeah.
I don't know if it will replace. I think people enjoy more to ride a camel or horse. You know why? Because even with this scarf around the face and the head, they get the atmosphere or the feeling that you're Lawrence of Arabia style. Okay, some people
Yeah, but
even
you're
like
not, you know.
even for a few minutes they experience this life.
Yeah. So you're talking about multiple tourists riding on one animal throughout the day in 40 degrees heat.
So what?
I mean, what's with this kind of magic that the people feel, you know, when they are riding the horse, even if they don't know how to ride a horse?
It's like this Lawrence of Arabia
Yes.
thing, you know, that they want to
Yeah.
feel they experience. But the majority of tourists that I speak to, they've ridden a horse like that, they totally regret it. Because they say, oh, the poor horse was so skinny, but, you know, the guy convinced me to get on anyway. And, you know, it was on my bucket list. It was a dream that I wanted to do. And you can find a very, very few horses at stables that do look after their horses, but even those ones, they're not going to last forever. And then when they start to not be able to do that or look so good, then they're going to be sold to the guy that picks up rubbish on the side of the road where they don't get fed and they live on garbage. And so even the ones that start off good, because a lot of people say, no, the horse pulling our carriage is big and strong.
Yeah.
They have to be to pull a carriage, but they're not going to stay that way, you know. They're going to eventually become this beaten up horse lying on the ground dying here.
The whole fact that you can buy a horse that can do the job for 1,500 Egyptian pounds or 2,000.
You
or
wouldn't
even
get a
less.
horse that can pull a carriage up the hill at the pyramids for that, though. That,
Okay.
that you probably would be paying more like 5,000 to 9,000 for those big strong horses.
Yeah, but that's still, 1,000 zloty. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like $200.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
You pay for a night in a hotel $200, and then you can pay for the horse $200 and like abuse him or his life until he just gives away.
And then when his tendons and things give way, then you know they're going to sell them and get another one. And then the one they sell him to, maybe they'll use him for tourists to ride, and they can just run behind and make them run with the whip. And then when they can't do that anymore, then they get sold to the guy that picks up garbage on the road, and the horse finds its own food in the garbage. And
We also saw, weaker, I would say, horses, not the strongest one,
Yeah.
pulling the carriage up.
yeah, exactly. It's just like this downhill spiral for these horses.
So you think he knows that it's bad?
I'm sure he has a very good idea how bad it is. Yeah. I don't think anybody could live here and not understand how bad it is.
Yeah, but he was talking with such a confidence, like, come on, these horses are good. People give them treats. People pet them. People.
Yeah.
They bring them to drink water. Mind you, we never seen any one bucket of water.
Yeah, I was going to say, and what did you see? Is that what
Yeah.
you saw?
No buckets, no automated system, no fillers.
No, there's no water. They get water in a bucket at the end of the day only.
Just offered to
Yeah.
them for a few seconds and then onto the next horse and onto the next horse, and if the person doesn't feel like doing that, then they won't have any.
Or maybe they lead them to a water trough and then they tie it up again. Yeah.
And what is this green stuff that they are feeding?
Barseem?
The basim. It's clover. It's very good food, actually.
good food,
Yeah,
yes?
it's fresh clover.
Yeah.
So it's all cut
And
and
I
fed.
can see like a fresh green fields. So that's the thing.
Yeah, that is very good food.
So
yeah.
they basically do it for the horse.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah, it's grown
it's-
to feed animals.
Yeah, it's grown
Okay.
for feed. Yeah, it's-
What else are they feeding them?
Well, in that area, they feed them this thing called tibbin, which is like it's, like straw. Like after you harvest the grains off the straw, then it's just what's left over. So, like we use that stuff for bedding for them to lie on and to nibble at and things like that. But the tibbin is all been cut up, so it's also got a lot of rubbish in it. It's got a lot of chunks of rock and stones, and it's got other things in it, and it's very, very poor quality feed. And so a lot of them are fed with this tibbin. They feed them beans, which is something horses should never be fed. They will give them corn because they have to survive to do the job, especially the ones pulling carriages up the hill. They're fed a lot of corn, but this is like the worst. What do you call it, scenario to do for horses is to give them nothing all day and then to suddenly give them 5 kilos of corn, and then the owners will tell you better make them big and strong, but also will give them colic and laminitis and they'll die from this, so it's the whole industry these are not horse people. They're not people that would do research about feeding or anything like this. It's just people making money.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
What would you say to the tourists?
Please come to Egypt. It is an amazing country. There is so many interesting and amazing things to see and do, but please just leave the animals out of your plans. You don't need to ride a horse or a camel, and you can take an SUV, you can take a car, you can do so many amazing things here. You can go diving in the Red Sea, you can go climbing, abseiling. There's so much to do, but please just leave the animals out of your plans.
The animals don't deserve to be the thing that's responsible for your holiday being good or not. They deserve to be left alone right now.
Thank you.
We always say, is your 5 minutes of fun worth their lifetime of suffering? People don't realise that, they think, oh, it's just a fun ride, it's just 10 minutes, but it's for the horse, it's every 10 minutes, yeah.